front of me.
Well, you might have to throw a Molotov with someone.
Wait, Bobby Whitley.
Whoa!
The community single-handedly destroyed having open game lobbies, especially in expert realism. As soon as someone joins, BAM! We go from playing a zombie shooter to CSGO in literal seconds. And I already know what the comments are gonna say. Just set it to friends only. And the funny thing is, this YouTube channel already highly recommends it due to the bad experience we've had in public lobbies. Download bot add-ons, since eventually, with the right add-ons, the bots become on par, if not better, than real players. Left 4 Dead 2 wasn't designed around being played alone with bots. It was designed to be played with people, and most of the time, you can't have a full 4-man party, so you have to settle with playing with either randos or bots. Problems don't end there. Once you get a full lobby, the mic spam, the language is insane. It's just straight up League of Legends levels of toxic. But it doesn't end there. People join in parties just to start kicking people. You can't have an expert open lobby. You'll really see the dark nature of humanity if you do. Oh man, where do I start? What do you people know that I don't? Most vulgar language, instant kicking new players, friendly fire, trolling, throwing, hacking, exploiting, and the worst of all, leaving instantly. People love saying that League of Legends, Overwatch, or even Marvel rival players are the most toxic players. But nah son, Left 4 Dead 2 players are the most degenerate, toxic, old blood players ever. Those 3 games would be completely different if friendly fire was allowed and if you were able to kick people on the spot. If you mess up a charge, you'll get kicked. If you mess up a spit, you'll get kicked. If you fall behind as a survivor, you'll get kicked. If you open the game, guess what? Kicked. There's no tolerance for failure in Left 4 Dead 2. Versus has been around for so long that there are channels dedicated to finding insta-kill exploits, not to mention all the little tricks as a survivor and an infected. And if you don't know these little tricks, guess what? But here's the kicker. Let's say you know all the tricks. Let's say you do know how to use the charger and tank be hopping, and you insta-kill the entire team for deathstroke. Your reward is an immediate game over. People will leave faster than you could switch teams to continue the game. So either be average and have someone mic spam 20 slurs 5 seconds at you, or be so good that you'll never be in a versus game longer than the beginning chapter. Versus is a competitive game mode with no ranking system to be competitive about. Versus players' egos are worse than any other competitive game I've ever played. We're League of Legends players who have a ranking system that pretty much promotes their skill level and have something to gloat about. Versus players have nothing. League of Legends players have a reason to gloat, since the entire point of the game is to rank up. Left 4 Dead 2 players gloat just because. There's no other reason behind it. Left 4 Dead 2 itself doesn't have anything to promote skill other than gameplay itself. There's no rank tied in with the games you've won. It's competitive, yet there's no reason to why it is. And that in itself ruins versus. You got players flaming each other, friendly fire and kicking and all that, just with the enemy team typing GGEs as they stomp a team fighting itself. Whiners when losing, cocking when winning, just like League of Legends. It's an endless loop. Versus games just feel horrible to play, and the community which you have to play the game mode in is horrible. And before you start saying it's rare, it's not. I never make videos without showing video proof of what I'm talking about, and this video is full of footage. People love saying great round or GG when they're completely stopping the enemy team. To the curb. But the moment we start losing, those same people will start saying, I'm not going to go into the anime profile pictures or the furry profile pictures, because all of us have felt the wrath of them. They pick up a sniper and basically start auto-aiming. I don't know where the parallel between anime and Left 4 Dead 2 is, but they may as well be one and the same by now. Then there's just the freaks of this game, people with profile pictures that make me worry for their sanity. People used to say that America is a melting pot. Well, Left 4 Dead 2 is the melting pot of the internet. Weeb, furries, lolly enjoyers, and of course gamers. There are consequences to messing up the tank. Anytime you don't see the tank perform, which is half the time because the tank fails because it's relying on his team than himself, he will get kicked. It's literally just a game, yet when a charger or a tank misses, he is punished. Not by the game, but by the people he's playing with. People act like this is the same thing Hitler did when you miss a freaking death charge for some reason. The game mode has this stigma of messing up, similar to messing up a support ult in Marvel Rivals, where people just cannot let it go throughout the whole game. What a disaster. If you mess up hard enough, people won't even kick you. People will just leave the game. Versus, huh? When they say versus, they mean you'll be versing your own teammates rather than the infected. One of the dumbest things I'll never understand about versus is the etiquette that comes with the game mode. It's made up by the community, there's no actual rules about it, and there's no punishments that come with it, except some guy getting pissed at you because you didn't say R. It doesn't make sense. Why would we ask R if it could be done in the lobby? That's the entire point of waiting in the game lobby. You wait until the teams are even or when the lobby is full. Waiting around in game just doesn't make sense because one, you have to trust in people's humanity. The enemy team needs to wait until you have an equal amount of players, which, let's be real, trusting in gamers' humanity is the last thing you want to trust. Most of the time they'll just get going as soon as the game starts and not wait until the teams are even. Second, there are things like chip damage, since Versus spawns infected AI when you wait around.
Alex spawning in already! That's impossible! Get out of here!
Just executing!
What?
During this time of waiting, the infected team will purposely jump off the map until they get a charger to do a death charge. I mean, what a tornado of clownness. A big fat joke. Just wait inside the lobby. That's the entire point of this. You can switch teams versus. The problem is that no one uses this to fill the team that is losing, which is usually the reason to why versus games end so fast. People usually switch to the team that is winning while people are waiting in between loading screens. Apparently, this is looked down upon. I think it's pretty scummy, but there is no punishment for it. And the worst part about it is that people won't kick the people who switch to the winning team when they were on the losing team, either because they don't care enough or they just don't remember the names of the people they were playing with in the first place. Versus etiquette is just dumb, plain and simple.
If you ever watched Jay's video about the various things about the community, you know that it doesn't end with players in your games. It extends out to custom maps. People stealing maps, people's add-ons which completely change your game to what the map creator wants the game to be. Craziness. I don't keep up with half of this stuff, but from what I know, it isn't all too common. We spawned toxicity ourselves. Hometown was deleted because people would harass the map creator, and to be fair, my only excuse was that I never thought that video would blow up as it did. YouTubers always say never to harass the creator, but that stuff never works. And I didn't find a need to say it because at the time when we created the video, we literally only had around less than 1,000 subscribers. Does that excuse what happened? No, I'm pretty much the one to blame for the deletion of Hometown. I guess I'm just as toxic as the people in this video in my own way. In my own comment section, people often talk about the Nightmare Mod's creator snapping back at criticism. And then there's people who snap at the mod creator who is snapping at other people. What type of inception nonsense is that? The voting system in this game is beyond broken, and no one ever talks about it, especially those retrospective videos with the guy sitting on the balls in the green screen. I'm not sure exactly how it works. Sometimes it works as intended, where it agrees on the majority of the vote, but most of the time the vote will go with the single person who says no.
Wait, we're starting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Explain that!
Yes, how dare you?
How does that happen? What type of coding nonsense can explain this? People love using the voting system when they're losing. Return back to lobby as soon as the tide turns. And the voting system in itself is toxic and comedic because every time someone gets kicked, it plays a sound effect, even when you're on the enemy team. The fact that the voting system is so broken when it comes to working adds an extra layer of clowniness that no other game can rival. I used to think that the host is the one who controls the vote, meaning if the host says yes or no, the vote will agree with what the host said, but it doesn't work like that. In fact, I'm not sure how it works, period. This is why I preach the admin system, because this issue happens all around the game. Custom maps, without the admin system, people could terrorize your game out of nowhere. Without relying on the game's unfunctional voting system, you can just use the admin system to kick people. If you ever waited in a versus lobby, it's pretty bad. I think it's a plugin, or maybe I'm going crazy, but if the lobby is not completely full, people will leave in a fraction of a second. I'm talking milliseconds. It's insane. And this specifically happens in versus lobbies. Sometimes, even when the lobby is completely full, people will still leave instantly. My first theory was that maybe people are looking for full lobbies, but that wouldn't explain why people leave full lobbies anyways. My second theory is that people are looking for games in progress, but people usually leave instantly because usually slots in game open up because the team is losing, and people hate playing on the losing team, so they'll just leave. Because if you join a game in progress, you'll be taking up a slot of the losing team. So my third and final theory is that there is a plugin out there that is so underground and hidden that specifically looks for lobbies that are in progress and don't join the losing team, essentially joining only the perfect game. That's just a theory. Your best bet at getting a versus game going is to start the game as soon as you can and wait until the game gets full in game, which makes no sense because that's the entire point of a lobby, to wait until the game gets full. Yeah, backban is a thing in Left 4 Dead 2, but people just don't give a damn. People cheat in Left 4 Dead 2, especially in versus, and it's not hard to find. The moment they pick up a sniper, the game ends. My question is, how does auto aim work on the special infected team? Isn't it crazy that cheating as a special infected is kind of pointless for the most part? None of them have anything that's somewhat similar to a sniper. It's not hit scan. Interesting, right? One of the things I wanted to touch on is the sprays in versus, or well, the sprays in the entire game. You know how games don't allow custom sprays anymore? Well, modern ones. Only sprays made by the developers can be used. The reason to why that is because the amount of porn sprays there are in games that don't restrict the use of sprays. It's insanity. You'll be playing versus and before you know it, you're being exposed to both female and male private parts. Sometimes even animals. It's absolutely horrible. I've barely scratched the surface. World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, League, Overwatch, CSGO. For as long as I lived, every single gaming community has insane toxicity. And as the years go by, more and more games are trying to avoid the reality that is just part of gaming at this point. Left 4 Dead 2 is a prime example of toxicity left open, and I honestly prefer being able to fight back with a toxic teammate than sit there and wait for the game to end to report them. This isn't work where I should have to deal with some clowny ass teammates. If they're messing up, being toxic and annoying, I should be able to do something about it, not wait for the developers to make a choice with a crappy reporting system that half the time I feel like doesn't even work. And the fact that I have to deal with this in almost every single online game out there is nothing short of nonsense.